Come on, everybody, let's start the show. A quick ahoy hoy and away we'll go. Richard's got a minifig and Flynn's got a pin. The gang's all here and it's time to begin. TrickyBricks roll call. Moto, Holly, Cara, and sometimes Blair, Clicky, Logan, Ms. Thing and Angela, and Thunderman Ho! Now you're here to grab your bricks and let's go to the TrickyBricks Build and Check Show!
Ahoy, hoy, everyone! Hope you are having an awesome Sunday. It's been a whole week since we streamed. I can't believe it. And we're back, and we're so excited to be here. And we are currently live from Portland, which is very, very exciting. And
beautiful
we have
Portland, Oregon.
A beautiful Portland, Oregon. We have we went to the Bricknick yesterday, which was fantastic, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I do want to invite our special guests on for today. Everybody, we have got our regulars plus a special guest, our irregulars plus a special guest. First, everybody, please welcome to the stream, Blair. Hi, Blair.
Hey, Blair. Ahoy, hoy, everybody.
Ahoy, hoy. Nice. It has been very hot here, so that's terribly appropriate. And now, please welcome to the screen another one of our irregulars. It's Moto. Moto is here. Yay! What? What's happening right now? Moto and Blair are here.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Great to see see y'all here. You'll probably notice that we are not filming from our usual location. We are in a undisclosed location in Portland, Oregon right now. So we've got we're here. Blair and Moto are here. It's so great to see you. Another one of our awesome cast of irregulars. Please welcome to the stream, Holly. Hi, Holly.
Hi, Holly. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Portland.
Welcome to Portland. And you look like you are in a familiar location.
Same old for me. Nothing exciting happening here at all.
And also, please welcome Cara's here.
What?
Hi, Minifig Chick. Cara's here. Look at that. We've never had like two, and 2 on the screens before. That's excellent. Very, very exciting. And a trip to Portland would not be complete without another very special guest. Everybody, please welcome to the stream, Boone. Boone is here. Hi, Boone.
Yay.
Hi, everybody. Hey, it's so great to see you virtually.
It's great to see you virtually, too. So this is exciting. We've got 7 people in 4 screens. Like, how does that work?
That's a lot of money on squares.
Momentarily, usually.
Yeah. I've got my, check it out. I've got a Paranorman cup today, which I am very, very excited about.
And I'm featuring the Empire Strikes Back.
Cheers.
Now
it's coffee all around. Everyone has beverages.
I have a Mandalorian mug.
Very good. That's very on brand.
It is a proper Sunday brunch, I do believe.
So we all now, with the exception of Holly, we all have sort of different backdrops than you're probably used to us having. So
it's anything can happen day.
It is. It's 100% anything can happen day. So let's kick off talking about Delicious Food says, is the air sweeter in that room, Boone? That's quite.
I'm in someone else's collection room here, and it's pretty unbelievable.
It's pretty epic, right?
It is epic. I didn't want to take too much time to take it all in before the stream, because after the stream, my brain is just gonna like combust and then walk around here, 7 times and try to see everything. But
the smuggler's run, if you will.
Well, I was going to imagine if you see Boone drifting off during the show and just kind of looking around, you'll know.
You just come back to an empty frame. That's it. We lost him.
His shirt stuffed full of figures.
That's no Boone. That's a space station.
Wait, what was that? What just happened there?
What just happened? There was like a wormhole.
Someone was trying to snap me out of it.
Can we open that wormhole all the way up for a second and see what happens?
Yeah, but I have to go. Hold on. I can open the wormhole, but I have to go unlock the door. Just a moment.
What?
Click, 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 click.
What is even
now?
happening?
Everybody. And I'm much cooler over here.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It actually works.
But you're always cool, Boone. So
Womp womp.
I know.
Everyone's
sorry.
cooler in the Star Wars room.
Yeah, right? So
maybe not me.
The things no one should ever say.
So
look at everyone in the chat.
I know we're gonna
so many people.
Let's say hi to everybody in the chat because it's one of those epic days. We've got Fourth World Adam is here, who we got to see yesterday. That was awesome. Alexander 23. Apples is here from Europe. Brett Hooper, who we also got to see. Brickaroo Bonsai. Chris Separator, red, white, green, orange, teal, chalice. Dave Morgan.
We got to see Dave Morgan.
Dave too. Debo Bricks. Delicious Foods is here. Fabufan MKE. Heather Mraz. Hell's Bells. Hooded One. How's it going? John Luttrell and Vicky. How's it going? Johnny Cat is here. Hey, Johnny. Lisa Head. Marade is with us. Matthew Builds Bricks all the way from the UK. Monica Berry. Hi, Monica. Patrick Wismer. Phil Carlton. Robin Eklund. Shane Levan. Hey, Shane. The Hornburgers. Ahoy, hoy. Hornburgers. Wax Splat. That's a new name. Haven't seen you before. Everybody give a big TrickyBricks welcome to Wax Splat. And Wyatt Builds is here. Bonsoir to Wilfred, wherever you may be, and of course Kim Zarachino. So hello to everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. Oh, I see Brickaroo Bonsai, Brickman Mosaics Art. See you later. Cody O is here. Hey Cody, how's it going? And Squid Kid is here. Hey Diggy, good to see you.
Hey.
It has been, I gotta say, it's been, and I know this word is overused, but it has been an absolutely epic trip to Portland so far.
Yep.
We got to go to the Bricknick yesterday, which was an outdoor Lego meetup. Yes, it was like an outdoor Lego meetup. People brought mocks. We got to socialize outside. The weather actually gave us a break because it's been excruciatingly hot here. The weather gave us a little break for that, but it was a really, really fun event where we got to see a lot of people. And
you don't hear this word a lot, but it was truly heartwarming.
It was heartwarming. It was. My heart is warm, and then later my body was very, very warm.
Yes,
that's a whole nother story. So I just wanted to, we really enjoyed the Bricknick, and I will say there were mocks. We did get to see some cool stuff. But I just want to go around, like, what was everybody's sort of favorite?
I want to say one quick thing first. I just want to say here's that word again, heartfelt thank you to the Richmonds and everyone who worked so hard to make that. You know, it's challenging times right now, and it was just a perfect event.
Yeah, it was really well done. And JJ, everybody did a fantastic job.
Bob, Jeff, all those guys did a wonderful job. And it was just it was just a taste of what Bricks Cascade is going to be next year.
Absolutely it was. So what was that?
What? Nothing.
Oh, so I just wanted to kind of go around and just get everybody's like impressions of the Bricknick and like what your favorite parts were. Let's start with Blair and Boone, what were y'all's favorite parts of the day yesterday?
I mean, it was like a reunion, you know, like I mean, we talked so much about how Bricks Cascade was the last big thing before the pandemic hit. And so to be able to hang out and sort of revitalize that energy that's been keeping so many of us going for this long was magical. I mean, it was a little too hot still, but being outside and being able to see people and nerd out and reconnect and see awesome mocks that people have been working on, it was just great, you know, like it was kind of unreal in a way.
Yeah, I just after not being able to do any of those kinds of things face to face for so long, you know, Jan Bayer from Lego sent us this 1.5-minute long message that played, and he used the word anniversary, and it's not a word I would have chosen, right? And I think like perhaps like I'm assuming a lot, supposing that maybe in German the word anniversary, you know, shares some commonality with the word reunion. But I liked that word of like anniversary of what, I don't know, but we're all back together, you know, and to share food together and to be able to introduce people face to face, you know, like this is the first time I feel like Moto is an old friend, but this week is the first time I've ever been in the same location as him, and we've gotten an incredible amount of time to spend together. And there's other AFOLs like Chad and Topher and Kelly, you know, that I've only connected with since the pandemic began. And so now for them to finally get to come to their first event with other AFOLs, it was just a really cool thing to see and watch and be a part of. Yeah, I didn't get to be there long enough. I had other things, but it was fun because we got to overlap for like 30 minutes
shortly.
And, anyway, it was great.
So, Holly and Kara, what were your impressions of the Bricknick?
Well, you were more of a guest. What was your impression?
I absolutely loved it. I thought it was truly delightful, and I really appreciated all the thought and attention that went into making it just as seamless and fun an event. And I really like the idea of having a smaller, like just AFOL only, like big get together like that.
Like not a convention.
Not a convention. And I would love to do more events like that. I think it was.
Well, you know, a thing it really made me think of is I didn't feel at all like I was on stage. Everyone was just like, you know, we were on the same. I love talking with guests at conventions, but this was just like all builders talking to builders.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super, super chill. It's exactly what I needed to kind of ease back into it. You know, like there was, I think, for most of us, there's at least a little bit of anxiety going into it, you know, of like not knowing what to expect, whether it was weather or what the environment was going to be like or whatever. And so we were kind of nervous about it, but it was like, I mean, I just couldn't have hoped for anything better. I was so comfortable and so at ease, and minus a little bit of heat later in the day, but it was just breezy, and there was plenty of space, and it was not at all about mock displays, or I mean, there was all the things that kind of make a convention eventful. Like there were games, and people were, you know, selling and trading, and you know, there were a few mocks and stuff, but that definitely wasn't the focus. The focus really was all about our kind of close-knit community, and just like a reunion, more of like very much like a family reunion where you're just out there playing cornhole, and it's just as fun as anything else. I thought
that's that beanbag game, right?
Yeah, Mr. Bob made his own little cornhole game
out of Lego.
Cool. Lego, yeah.
So Boone, I mean, sorry, I was looking at Moto, and it says Boone underneath. Moto. Now you've been.
The wormhole is destabilizing. Oh no! Oh
So Moto, I know you've done a few events lately, which were very different than what you experienced yesterday, right? Like, so this was a whole different kind of event for you. What were your thoughts?
I was quietly reflecting on 18 months ago. I was building on the floor of my basement alone in front of a washer and dryer.
Yes.
To this point in time. That's what I was thinking about. And there's no words that can explain that trajectory.
Why did we not think to
You have had a wild Lego journey in that time.
Yeah, to wind up in Portland, Oregon, which I never thought I'd ever visit, to meet people that I've gotten to know in person that I didn't know a short time ago. That's a heck of a transition, and I've loved every moment of it.
Yeah, it was.
Do this right here.
And I gotta say, like, it was
bricks.
It was outside. It felt safe. People could, people did wear, some people did wear masks, but overall, it was an outdoor event, and it was just so great to see everybody, right? Like, it was, and how great that we were all able to be in the same space. Like, I'm sort of building on what Boone was saying earlier. Like, to me, it felt like we had come full circle, right? Like, this was the last thing that we did. And, and I know things are getting weird again, but I feel like we're able to kind of like slide into that like little gap. And it was just really, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my favorite part of the Bricknick was walking through the tables and being able to see the creations that are out here in Portland and the amazing builders that are out here. There's a lot of talent. So, instead of, I don't drop little brick built appreciation trophies. I write personalized notes, and I think I went through a good chunk of the ream of paper that I brought out here, which is good. I needed the room in my stuff, all the brick that people dropped as gifts, so it all worked out.
So speaking of the mocks, now there were a bunch of really cool things, and I don't know if I can say I think we can all agree, but I kind of think that we can all agree that there was one particular mock that really stood out. Now, I'm sure everybody might have their picks, but for me personally, and I think a lot of people said this too, there was a super soaker that Ryan, I'm sorry, I don't know, is it Duzor? Is that how you say his last name?
Van Duzer.
Van Duzer. It was fantastic. Like I walked by the
Oh, the wormhole has opened again.
I just had to deliver this that we're going to talk about in a few minutes.
Okay, cool.
Got it.
So
I had my own.
So there was this super soaker, and I will say, and I heard a bunch of other people say too, I kind of walked by and looked at it on the table, and I was like, oh, somebody left a super soaker here on the table, but it's been hot here, so I was like, okay, sure, whatever, a super soaker, I can see why that might happen. And Holly was incredulous. It's a Lego event. Why would you think it was? But honestly, it transcended.
It was very convincing. It was convincing.
That was a good impression.
Yeah, thank you. It really transcended Lego to look like a real object. And it wasn't until I looked closely at the little barrel where I could see the 1x1 translucent blue studs inside representing the water that I realized that it was a model. And it was
the
just,
strap was great.
Yeah, the strap was amazing. Like every part about it was amazing. Did anybody else have favorite mocks, or maybe that one was your favorite too?
I have one. I'm sure he wouldn't say anything about this, but I thought Boone's castle was beautiful.
Oh yes, Boone's rebuild of the Coliseum was pretty epic. It was great to see it in person.
Oh,
Did anybody else have favorites?
I mean, for me, getting to see Kevin Waller's life-size Cloud Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII was insane. I mean, he nailed it on that thing. It's incredible.
I didn't even show you how big it was. It was
Yeah, and it's at least 5 or 6 feet long, and you can hold it in the air, and it has the little like magic items that you can imbue in the. It was just so cool. The texture is so much better in real life than the photos can do justice. That was just awesome. And
yeah, I gotta say, I was I only just now in my lifetime started playing Final Fantasy VII. I know it's like, as a video game player, people are probably shocked and horrified, but it was truly epic. I had seen him in pictures, but again, like, pictures can't do that kind of thing justice. It was enormous, and he was carrying it around on his shoulder, and I kept being, of course, you know, PTSD from season 2 of Lego Masters, like, it's gonna break, it's gonna fall apart, they're gonna blow wind on it, what's gonna happen? So yeah, it was that one was pretty cool. Any other impressions, things that you liked, Boone?
Did you have one?
Pointing at you.
I had well, the Super Soaker was my favorite. I used one of my printed bricks as an award, just a personal award, and it went to Ryan for the Super Soaker. But there were there were 3 others that really caught my eye. And I'm just going to go real quick, as fast as I can. Patrick Biggs had an incredible Bionicle. It was called, like, I think Tahu. Sorry, I'm not remembering the name off the top of my head, but it was this beautiful red and blue and gold, and it was this wingy thing. It was awesome. Drew Quinn built this thing that for a theme that he imagined called Space Prospectors, and he had built this big kind of like space like wagon prospecting thing that I just thought was really creative. And I remember when he connected with the community a few years ago, and seeing his builds progress just over like 3 years has been really wonderful. And then Marty, just as I was leaving, Marty came in with his giant classic space mech.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah.
The longer I looked at it, the more interesting it became, because it's like each little section represented a classic space set, and they all came together, and it was like this big, like, classic space Megazord sort of thing.
I also thought he was very brave for putting that freestanding, like, heavy mech on the table and being able to walk away from it, and it stood solid.
Oh, and I just wanted to show everybody, by the way, that is the Super Soaker that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Epic.
And I wish, I mean, somebody has a picture. Okay, so this was one of my favorites, not just because this is a brilliant build, but Ryan went all in and was dressed to match.
Yes.
And that's what really sold it. And if somebody's got to have it, I know I've seen a picture. Boone, did you take a picture of that?
I didn't get a picture of him.
We're gonna pull an image on a phone and hold the phone up, if you don't mind.
I don't know if it's gonna work.
Yeah, if you can tell me where the image is, if it's on somebody's Instagram, I can bring it up.
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead and hold it to the camera as best as you can.
Oh, hang on.
There it is. Well,
there he is.
Yeah. Yep. That's most of it.
The sunglasses and the shorts.
Oh, but even the shoes. It was
and the fanny pack.
Yes,
it's amazing. But yeah, that was and I think you can see just by looking at the picture why you may be fooled walking by it into thinking that it was just an actual object.
Made it perfect. I mean, it's totally cool.
To people who hate stickers, I have to say that's an example of where stickers on a mock can really pull it upwards to the next level.
Life
size, 1-to-1.
That picture, the picture where it's just sitting on the table, is a little. Like, it's kind of hard to tell scale, but it was life size. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was perfectly life size. It was great. I didn't look all that different from normal.
That's true. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, that was. But yeah, that was definitely one of those ones that like caught your eye, especially because you don't see people build in orange that often too.
Well, even to have the pieces in orange to do that.
He said it was the strap the pieces that he used for the strap was actually the seed part, and those were parts. So Ryan and I were at Scareback together a couple of years ago, and we got those big boxes. I don't forget what you call them, but it's
play boxes.
Miscellaneous parts, and there were tons of those little panel pieces in there that we got that we were like, what do you do with this? And he was trying to figure out how to make, like, he basically was seeing a strap with it, and he said that was what planted the idea.
Wow.
I felt like this was really outside of what Ryan typically builds.
Yeah.
So it just blew me, first to see him, show up in the costume, and then to see his build. I'm like, Ryan, you have so much in there that we can't even begin to imagine. If you can go from, the Fragile Reef and the
Fish guy,
salmon that showed last year to the Super Soaker, it's like, it makes me excited to see what we get from Ryan in the future.
Yeah.
I love when people cosplay to go along with their builds. I remember the Jurassic World collaborative build at Bricks Cascade. They all dressed like the park rangers.
Oh yeah, Andy and Davey. That was amazing.
It was a bunch of them. Yeah.
And I also just saw someone help me with who the builder was, but I saw a beautiful Elsa's castle, and the builder was dressed
like Elsa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So here I did get on Instagram. I just did the hashtag Bricknick, and after there's some weird bread baking things, I found here is that classic space mech.
Oh yeah, there's Marty's, and this is kind of cool because Marty is one of those people that I hadn't met in person, because I think he joined the lug after like since COVID. Am I right, Boone?
I had never met him before. And he's such a fun, pleasant guy. So I was going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah. So I do believe this is kind of like his debut, like his first mock and his kind of first event. And so
he mentioned that to me. Yep.
Marty is very pleasant.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy. That was cool to meet him. And let's see. I think we have some other shots. I believe that's Patrick Biggs.
Yeah, that's the combo bionicle character that we were talking about. And I think he and I were joking that we had we were racing for the challenge to see who would be left standing from blowing in the wind by the end of the day between my model and his.
How did that turn out?
They were both standing, luckily.
Okay.
So we didn't have to do a crash award. That was a good thing. Award you didn't want to hand out.
His other one too. I mean, Patrick had a couple of new Bionicle builds there, and the other guy was equally as cool. And I liked the base that it was on. I wish I'd taken more. I can't believe I didn't take more pictures. I was so caught up in seeing people talking to everybody.
Yeah. Everything that you guys have mentioned, I dropped a note on. I would say the one person I think that hasn't been covered is a relatively new builder as well. And she had used the mosaic art bases to make a constellation chart of the sky.
I was going to mention that, actually. That was one of my favorites.
And that one was really beautiful and surprising to me, because I think it was wire even that showed the constellations connecting the appropriate stars in the sky chart.
Kelly Bartlett.
Kelly. Sorry, I forgot her name. Kelly is, cool. that was a nice piece.
She had very thin lines joining the stars to create the constellations, and the whole thing, I think, was, for being so big, it was really delicate.
Yeah, it was a really cool piece.
Kelly built her very first mocks 1 year ago.
Wow.
If you saw it on Facebook, I remember seeing, like, around the beginning of, around the holiday season, she posted another large kind of mosaic that was butterflies, and at the bottom it starts out as mosaic butterflies, and as they fly toward the top of the frame, they become three-dimensional and fly off the frame.
Oh wow.
And so that was a thing she built. That was a thing she built 6 months after starting to mock, and it's now in Lego headquarters in Billund.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
So that's another example of, like, as when things go back to normal and we can all start being together for stuff, she's just gonna the art section at Bricks Cascade next year, Kelly Bartlett's going to be a name that everybody knows real quick.
Oh, I've got here there's this one. Hi. There we go. I've actually got here. I think this is hers. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is true. Hang on 1 second.
What's that?
Do you need some water?
Oh yeah.
Do you need your water?
Your coffee.
Thanks.
There we go. This is hers, right?
Yeah.
As
Is
well.
it?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah, this
Was that also
is
Kelly's?
Yeah, that was,
really
yep,
fantastic.
that's her Hawaii. That was at the event yesterday.
Yeah, this is Brett's Instagram. He said he had some pictures of her stuff. There's the star one.
That's the one.
Yep, and there's fine wire connecting. I think it was wire
Yeah, you can
connecting
see.
the constellations.
Oh, here we go.
You can see a glimmer of them. But this is another one where in person, this thing reads a heck of a lot better than any photo would be able to give it justice.
And the thing that blows me away about this is just that kind of natural ability to see the gradients, you know, and execute them. I do not have that ability to, because if you look at the brightest blue in that, you know, string of blue that weaves through this, and then it just sort of gradually goes through the darker blue and out to the black. That is not a gift that I have in building to just do that. And it's the butterfly one was very similar, and it's pretty clear to me that Kelly just has a knack for that. And I got to meet John, her husband, and he said that, you know, she's been building sets for a long time, and that he was just really pleased that she's discovered this because he feels like it's the perfect thing. He seems to be he doesn't seem to entertain the idea that he might also be a builder one day, which perhaps he won't, but he seems pretty pleased that she found this thing because he's like, it's perfect. It's like exactly what she needed, and I think it's pretty cool.
It is something I've thought about a lot, and Flynn and I talk about Lego as art supplies a lot. But I just love how completely uniquely personal people can make their builds. And so you see things, I mean, from a perfectly scaled model of a tank to, you know, we saw that koi yesterday, the mechanical koi fish. I think it's just amazing that these sort of little hard plastic things can be so personal and different. Oh, thank you.
Delivering that.
Thank you, Flynn.
You're welcome.
Grab a pen.
So, you know, we also had
wormhole is
expanding. I just had to come down. I just had to come for a quick visit to do a delivery, and I'll be going back into my own wormhole.
My mustache.
you know, walk by to.
Are we having fun yet? Oh yes.
You know,
Other hole. Now I'm gonna have to go. I have to go back to my regular wormhole in a minute. But this.
I wanted to say, just during all of this intergalactic travel that's going on here, we have two very Earth solar-based events. We've got two birthdays right around now, don't we?
We do.
Isn't that Holly and Flynn are both celebrating birthdays very close to right now?
We celebrated last night, and it was everything I thought it could be and more.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Hey, Emmasaurus is here. How's it going? Welcome.
Emmasaurus.
I wish we could pull you through the wormhole into to where we are now. But this has been it really. Yeah, we did a draft last night, which was really fun. Now, I realize a lot of people out there may not know what a draft is because maybe they haven't done one before. Now, we actually also saw a dear friend of ours, formerly Miss Tapcat, now Dr. Cat Builds, and she had never done a draft before, and we got to do a draft with her, and that was really fun. So, actually, Boone, could you explain to the audience what? I'm like looking at you over here.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that is to our audience?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a draft is when everybody who wants to participate in a draft comes with one copy or two, if you want to go that way, but one copy of a particular Lego set that everyone has agreed upon, and everyone brings the same Lego set. You dump out all the pieces, you sort the pieces, and then you take turns by a random draw, selecting or drafting the pieces that you most want. So let's say the set has two
printed tiles
that you're interested in, and 10 people are drafting, then there's going to be a cup with 20 of those printed tiles. So you might get a chance at getting to take those 20 home. And so it's just a great way of like spending the same amount of money as a Lego set, but coming out with lower variety and higher quantities of parts. And higher quantities can be very helpful when mock building. So we do drafts, and it's fun.
Well, it's also, it's so social and, you know, so different than the, well, hi, Skittles.
Skittles is a little early for her entrance, Moto.
It was so social and fun, and there's, you know, you want that piece, and is someone gonna take it? Someone gonna take it? Of course they are.
You know how they are with their elbows. They're just, you know.
But you know, sometimes people can make arrangements on the side too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, there's some friendly negotiation that happens too. Sometimes if it's a set with minifigures, either people will decide to draft the minifigures or everybody keeps them. And then sometimes, you know, if somebody gets a really awesome lot and another person gets something, and, you know, you'll split them at the end and make some, you maybe get 200 of something that was a coveted piece and share it. Or sometimes even they'll break down a really coveted piece into multiple lots just so that there's more.
Yeah, we had a few cups of 1x2 gold tiles from this set last night. So
which I think Boone got all of.
Yeah, here's a picture.
3 lots, and I got 2 of the 3.
Okay,
I got 1.
Great.
I get, you know, so this is a picture of we drafted the Ninjago Brickheads that was the gift with purchase set that is now on sale, that you can get, and this was the result. It was crazy the amount of pieces. Actually, I was very surprised.
Awesome.
We all ended up with some pretty epic pieces. It was,
you know,
a lot of fun.
Drafts can be a little controversial too. Boone, do you remember after Bricks Cascade, there was a draft of a Star Wars set, right? And people were aghast that we would break that set apart to take the pieces. They were floored. What was the set?
It was the Sandcrawler, the big. Is it UCS?
Yeah, it was great.
Sandcrawler. Well, so we did a collaboration. Flynn, Richard, Mark, Perry, Sam Hatmaker. Am I forgetting anyone? Me.
You.
And we all collaborated on this big build, and we won People's Choice, and the reward was a big boxed UCS Sandcrawler. And how do you share that prize?
It totally makes sense.
One option would have been, you know, everyone could have bought out one person, or one person could have bought out everyone else, or something like that. But we decided to basically draft the parts bags. So we just
the bags.
And we did a quick little draft where we just kind of went bag by bag and got to take home some of the parts from that set. So yeah, some people were really upset. You know, I don't know. Some people might hear that and be upset about, you know, never building that sealed UCS roller.
It was such convention madness too.
And we had to go our separate ways because we, you know, lived in different places, and it's just like, okay, let's take some parts, and I'll use those parts. I know exactly where those parts are.
We all drafted that set like the year before too, when it was the speed build thing. So
the thing I remember the most about that is that we had the box, and these sort of like very hopefully expectant Star Wars fans came over, and they were like, "We'll pay you, like we'll pay you for the set, and then you guys can like split the money." And Perry was just like, No, we're drafting the pieces, and I think he got like a little, just like a little bit of glee out of like being able to like tell him no.
I would have, definitely.
You know, if you've never been to a convention, a Lego convention, this was happening in the midst of a room full of people madly taking down their things to pack them away.
Yeah.
It was really, it was so fun. And I find conventions to be so dreamlike, actually. Just so many people really like, you know, going in and out while you're trying to do these highly technical things.
Very frenetic.
One more, that was a good example of like a different kind of draft. And I have one more example of a different kind of draft that I thought was a great idea for years. And then I finally convinced some people to do it. And we did it, and I think it went well, but I don't know, Holly, do you I feel like I brought it up and you weren't sure you
I was there.
I called it a junkyard draft because everybody has those bags. Maybe not everybody, but I know I do, and I know a lot of builders have like those bags of parts that they're just haven't been important enough to you to get sorted yet. And you know they're there, and you know there might be some good stuff in there, but you haven't gotten around to it. So we agreed, there's probably 12 of us that agreed that we would bring 1 gallon of that kind of stuff and just dump it out on the table in your pile. And then we basically played speed dating with other people's piles and took like 10 parts from each person's pile. And so it's kind of like one person's trash is another person's treasure, sort of.
Yeah, how fun. I'd love to. I think it would be fun to do that at Bricks by the Bay.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Totally.
I call it junkyard draft, but
Yeah, that's one. I mean, you know, in post-COVID times, hopefully we can adopt and do more regularly.
You know, I wanted to say something too. People will see photos of us together having a great time unmasked. There was a lot of effort outside of those picture frames to be very safe and cautious, and so it's great. But just don't think when you see all those photos, you know, they're not doing any of the.
Yeah. No, this was our cohort, and we were all very like, we kind of have our own little like bubble, like our own space, and we've all been vetted, and yes, I think there's been a lot of precautions taken, and I want to express that I appreciate everyone that I've been able to spend time with and been able to get close to, that I appreciate that you have taken the steps and been responsible so that we have been able to do this. So thank you.
I have to ask, Blair, can you tell us about your hat?
Yeah. Are we ready? Because that ties in.
Show or something, and I have the Wind Power Mindstorms education kit, so I decided to bust that out and put it together this morning. So I have a fully functional fan on my head.
Can you feel that, Boone?
You know, Blair, I think I have the same set, and it comes with a solar cell and a meter that you can test the power.
Yeah,
those
you can
education
actually,
sets are great.
I've reversed it, so now it's running on a motor, but you can set this up to run into like a power intake and actually measure the joules that you're getting off of actual wind power. So I was pretty stoked to finally get a good use out of it, and it does generate quite a bit of wind. I put a servo moto
through the wormhole.
So, friends, with us being in Portland, there is one important member of the cast that we could not bring through the wormhole with us. But we have a quite suitable understudy. While this, we all have our regular animation, unfortunately, a certain dog was unable to join us for today's show, but we have the understudy is here. Everybody, welcome to Skittles Cookie Time. Skittles is here. I think I know everybody's miss Logan. We miss Logan so much.
Hey, Skittles, say hi to everyone. Hi. Look at that. See your eye. I saw an eye. Oh, she has eyes. And you know, I can confirm right now, Skittles is actually not a puppet. At least this version, this variant of Skittles is not a puppet.
This is she's puppeted, but not an actual puppet.
Yeah. And Logan is at Logan's summer camp with his best doggy friends. He's having a great time right now.
Yeah, I know. He probably is not even thinking about his appearance. But it has been so great, and I will say that
Say thank you, Uncle.
that Logan, Skittles has been a really amazing Logan replacement. So Logan usually is sleeps with us in the bed, and every morning in the morning since we've been here, I just hear this little sort of shuffling outside the door, and then I open the door and Skittles runs in and jumps in the bed with us and hangs out for a little while. So Skittles has been an excellent Logan understudy.
And when Skittles isn't on camera, she's a blur. You can barely even see her. She is everywhere.
She is everywhere all at once. It's true. And
her life too.
All right, so that has been Skittles filling in for Logan cookie time. Wow, so it's been truly wormhole today. Everything is topsy-turvy. It is anything can happen day. But we are going to actually do pins now. See, it's 10:47 and we're just now doing pins. That's how crazy it is. But I got to say, I'm very excited about me and Richard's pins today. Or I should say, Richard and my pins today. Because we've got, let me see, where have I got here? We got this lovely card, and here we'll go first today. We got this lovely card with this super trippy play function on here. I don't know if I can make it work. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Ooh, optical illusion.
It's like a wormhole.
So it says, hello there. My wife and I visited downtown Disney last week, saw these pins and thought of you two wonderful guys. I hope you enjoy them. Thanks for sharing your Lego journey with us. Darren and Debbie Siegfried. Thank you so much, Darren and Debbie. I love our pins. So why don't you show yours first?
Wonderful. I have the Rainbow Castle.
That is
there.
We can show it again. Clickies on the job.
From Disneyland Resort. Rainbow Castle.
Very, very cool. And I have this absolutely adorable Mickey and Minnie at Disneyland pin, and there's Goofy in there too. And look, it's dimensional. It's very, very cool.
Thank you so much.
You're dimensional.
Yeah. Whoa.
What a sweet, thoughtful gift.
Yes, thank you so much, Darren and Debbie, for these wonderful pins. I super appreciate it. Let's go back to our whoa, the wormhole is opened up again.
What is going on?
Oh my goodness.
Who else has a pin to share today?
Obviously.
Kara has a pin. All right, Kara, why don't we Holly and Kara and Moto and Boone. I need that t-shirt.
I don't even know who I am anymore.
What have you got for us, Kara?
So I have an awesome pin from the Walt Disney Family Museum. This is Plain Crazy, one of the very first, actually I think it was the first Mickey and Minnie short.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it wasn't Steamboat Willie?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up right now.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Moto, did you bring something?
Well, this movie is not in the same genre nor vein, but still in package. A Chappie reject pin from Whaaaat Workshop for Trading.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, awesome. I love it says reject on it.
Scheduled for destruction.
And Moto, I love your shirt too.
Yay! We have that. We have those. That same shirt. I know. I was going to bring it and I forgot because.
Yeah, and we've also got overlapping pink, different shades. No, actually, they're not too far apart. Yeah.
And both of those shirts are designed by the same person.
Will Heron.
Will Heron. Yeah.
Very cool.
So,
All right.
Plain Crazy was the first Mickey Mouse cartoon in 1928, and Steamboat Willie was released in March of 29. So there's your Disney trivia for the day.
Well, if I knew I was going to learn a thing, I might have brought note paper or something.
It's in the drawer to the left.
All right, Holly, what have you got for us today?
I thought this was an appropriate pick for today. It had where am I? Over here. Okay. It has a little tag of best friends on there. Wait, yeah, we gotta focus. Oh well, you get the idea.
Oh, those are great.
Oh, nice. Oh, Skeletor. I do love me some Skeletor.
There you go.
Oh, and I love that holographic paper background too.
Oh yeah.
Does that say best friends on it?
Yeah, it says best friends.
Why are you hiding your face?
Oh, so
all right, I didn't bring a pin. I forgot a pin, but I do have a sticker. There is a new Boone and Mark Bearded Builders sticker floating around out there, and pretty excited about that. Moto and I stopped at my PO box on the way to the Bricknick yesterday, and this box of 1,000 stickers was in there. So if you're lucky enough to run into us one day, we'll give you one.
That's awesome. This is hi Greg, how's it going? London Bridge Bricks. We've got here. Oh, hello. Now I'm getting confused.
Hello again.
There we go. Blair is here. What have you got for us today, Blair?
So,
and Blair, by the way, I just want to let you know I'm a big fan. All right, so anyway,
something else I'm a huge fan of is where is it? No Starch Press makes some amazing Lego books. If you're not I don't know why it's not focusing on that, but check them out. No Starch Press makes awesome Lego books full of Lego art, as well as amazing Technic and Mindstorms creation instructions. I can't recommend them enough. Their stuff is fantastic. And if you wait until maybe a little bit later in the fall, they usually do an awesome Black Friday sale and stuff. And it's a great time to pick up some amazing Lego knowledge and do some Lego learning.
Awesome. And also, look who is here, Yano. Hi, Yano.
Hey, Yano. I forgot I actually have another pin to share.
Oh, another one.
That?
All right.
Yep.
What's that?
Oh, wow.
Oh, they're just going to my stash now.
No, it's mine. I made it. It's a pin. It's technically a brooch, but it's a Lego and Swarovski.
Oh, that's right. You made that. You wore that yesterday.
Yep.
That's cool.
Great use of it.
Lovely.
Color.
Very, very cool.
You know, Flynn, a moment ago, you said to Blair that you were one of his fans.
I am a fan.
And he has that hat on. It reminds me of our current challenge.
Oh, it does. It reminds me of two things, actually. Our newest, our current challenge, actually, which is due next Thursday, and we'll be doing the show on Friday, is called "What a Punderful World." So build a pun. But hey,
effect ready.
It's build a pun. Send it in, and we will show it on the show. We're really excited about this one, and especially in the spirit of TrickyBricks, which has been a pun-filled place from day one between Moto and Shane, Debo Bricks, and a few others. It's just like it seemed an appropriate one for this.
What a wonderful world.
And I'd like to personally thank my dad for indoctrinating me into the wonder of puns. It's a very dad thing.
It was like
I thought you gestured at Flynn when you said my dad.
No,
you did not. I missed that.
Actually, I'm older than Flynn by a few months.
I'm sorry. I should have let it go. I just thought you should.
Thank you, Boone.
I think he was
I know.
Jester
I know.
to like the
I'm
chat
kidding.
because his dad's in the chat
Okay.
sometimes.
Okay.
Yes, Abby, wordplay. Well, we will count wordplay. Absolutely.
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 We're pretty easy about rules. Like no one gets kicked off.
Right.
You know.
So, but being a big fan also reminds me of something else.
What could that be, Flynn? And
that is the latest episode of Lego Masters Season 2, Breaking Wind, is what I call it. I'm not sure if they said that on the episode, but
I'm sure.
I heard someone say it, so I had.
They did. So let's shoot the breeze.
Okay, so we watched the show yesterday, and actually, I was thrilled that we were able to make an appearance on Moto's stream yesterday and embarrass the crap out of Maria and Philip, which was amazing, and I had such a great time doing that. They were very good sports. But we had a really great time. We watched and we actually got to watch the episode, a bunch of us all together. Yeah, that was something. That was really, really cool. Now, I don't have pictures today or any of that, so we're just going to kind of power through a sort of recap of the episode.
Yeah, we're gonna just gloss and blow over the effect on photos.
Yes. So as many of the episodes of season 2 have been, this one was about again a structural challenge. In other words,
with destruction.
Yeah, can it break or not break? So this time everybody was had to build a windmill.
As if it was optional, as if it was like, we suggest that you build a structure of this nature.
If you feel like it this time around.
If you want, whatevs.
Well,
we know you've been under a lot of pressure. This time,
well,
if you feel like it.
Yeah, just try not to blow it.
Me saying encouraged is actually almost the polar opposite of what actually happened, because when we were speaking with the contestants yesterday, we discovered that this challenge is the one that had the most rules in place of any challenge. And when I heard it, I was quite taken aback, because on our season, we never had, we had a couple of rules or whatever.
Like the bridge had to be
the bridge
even with the roadway,
but this was beyond. Like, they had height requirement, depth requirement, they had width requirement, how long the blades could be requirement. Like, it was a whole thing, and I can only imagine it must have been extremely difficult working under such tight parameters.
Well, and you see some of that in the episode too.
Yeah, absolutely. So did anybody, just real quick going around, because we're not going to be able to just sort of go into every build in detail, but can we go around and kind of say what were people's favorites? And regardless of whether and then, sorry, I didn't tell the part where they put an up to a 60-mile-an-hour fan wind machine on it.
Secondary.
And they had to, it had to spin the fan and also not fall apart.
Withstand a hurricane force wind, yeah.
Yeah. So, wow, Shane, thank you for that one. Yeah. Yes, the judges were a bit long-winded in their explanation of the rules. So I just kind of wanted to go around and see, did y'all have any favorite builds out of the ones that were in? So let's start off with Blair and Holly.
You mean Boone and Holly?
Flowers for me. It was the flower build. That had me, the flower build from the very beginning, just the concept was like already a winner in my mind. I was like, that is exactly what I was hoping for, that it wasn't going to be just another windmill, like a cool looking windmill. Because I wasn't really even clear if everyone had to build a windmill, but it sounds like they did, right? Like they had to build one.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like hoping to see something a little, because when they were asking, we want to see movement. It's like, obviously the movement is given in the windmill itself. You're going to see the fan there, the blades go. I really thought the idea of having the flowers blowing in the wind. I thought was genius. I was like, that is such a cool idea. I hope this works.
And I was super sorry, Flynn. I was super worried about those flowers too. I thought those things are going to blow over immediately.
And we should mention that was Dave and Richard's build.
Yes, sorry, Dave and Richard.
And it also had a sound element, which is kind of what they went with from the very beginning. Was that it would include sound. And I love that their tower had holes in it that contained like little sort of wind chime pieces. It was fantastic. Hey, Dr. Cat Builds is here. Great to see you.
Good to see you again.
It was great to see you last night. So Boone, did you have a particular favorite build?
Yeah, remind me. I have strain brain. Remind me Caleb's brother's name.
Jacob.
So Jacob and Caleb. Well, I think my first favorite was what I'll piggyback on Holly's, but she said enough about it. I think my second favorite was Caleb and Jacob's, just because I thought that the look, the style of their windmill was so cool to me. They really, Brickmasters got after Brian and Lauren about how much gray they had, and then they kind of went, too far the opposite direction, trying to take care of the gray. Caleb and Jacob had a lot of gray in that windmill, but the style that they used in the kind of architectural / I don't know, I was catching like kind of a cyberpunk feel off of that. I thought it was cool. The one thing that I thought was strange is that they told their story over and over again about this portal opening up, and I thought
that the door was going to open.
Something was actually going to happen.
I bet
the build.
Yeah, I bet.
And then it didn't.
It.
So then that sort of leaves me going like, well, what was supposed to happen anyway? Yeah. But I thought it was a really cool looking structure.
Yeah, and so they had an Atlantis theme to theirs, which was great, and I love that they offset that gray with that blue trident. And once again, dots to the rescue. Like they made really, really great use of dots, which, if you've been watching this season, has played a huge part in the finishing of many, many of these builds. Like it cannot be understated, the effect of having dots on the set. Like I can only imagine.
Well, speaking of dots, the flower sound build, there was a pollen component, which was yellow round tiles, 1x1s. And, the cast was saying those things kept just blowing out of that model for days on end. And it just wound up in every corner of that studio.
Yeah. Another thing I loved about Caleb and Jacobs was their pre-planning, because they had the trident and they had details on the sides, but they weren't stuck on. They were reset.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of really careful planning, especially around the edges of the trident.
Yeah, that was really a fantastic build. Blair, did you have a favorite?
I mean, the flower garden was definitely a favorite of mine, but I also really like Martin and Steven's structures. They were so dynamic, and I just love their use of color. It felt really balanced, and just the way that they had shaped those it just blew me away. Like I thought that was a really cool design. But I was really impressed with anybody who was able to take the motion and get it to activate something else as well. Which again, I was expecting something to happen in the Atlantis one. I thought that I saw a door in the bottom of the tower that was going to open, and but now knowing some more of the rules, I realized how difficult that was. That you weren't allowed to power anything directly off your major fan blades and stuff. So there were some caveats that we weren't privy to watching it. So it makes a little more sense to me now, but I just, I thought it was super cool to see the way that people approached the towers, and I loved how aerodynamic theirs were.
Yeah. Well, and they I think took more care than anyone else with their tower to make it aerodynamic. That was the start of their idea.
Yeah.
So Kara and Moto, thoughts, favorite builds from last episode?
I mean, I agree with everyone that the flower build was absolutely one of my favorites, largely because, not only just the way they instituted the movement with the flowers, getting blown by the breeze, But the thought of including sound, because I love mixed media stuff, and including the concept of sound in that too, I thought was just spectacular. And the wind chimes in the tower were perfect. I mean, they commented on the show even, that they could hear those wind chimes even over the sound of the fan, and you could definitely hear them on the television. And I adored that. Absolutely loved it.
Well, definitely the sound, like when we did our clock build, that was a big seller for our clock, was that you could hear the tick-tocking of that eyeball going back and forth. So definitely, if you're going to be on Lego Masters, having those little extra tricks up your sleeve are always a really good idea.
Hey, I have a tip, by the way. So we've done conventions where we spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time with lighting and hiding wires and all that, and then the lights are so bright in the convention center you can't see it. When they introduced sound, I thought there's no way that they're going to be able to hear that over that enormous fan, and you could. So if you're going to include other senses, make sure they're going to ride above whatever's going on. Like if it's sound, you got to be able to hear it.
Yeah, and hi Skittles. So Moto, what about you? Did you have a particular favorite here?
I really liked Mark and Steven's build simply because they were getting into not just finalizing and sculpting flat surfaces, but the compound curves, using curved slopes to really get an airplane feel and a sci-fi vibe going down. And they made the fan challenge look like a breeze. I mean, there was no part of that thing that was going to move or transition or for Blake. It was awesome. I also wanted to mention that they had some astronauts that were brick built, and those suckers were just fluttering in the wind.
Yeah.
Hanging on for dear life right to the end.
Yeah,
I also, on the storytelling side, I like Natalie and Michelle's storyline, I think, the best, with the idea of a toy box and the dreams of imagination of a child. I thought that was pretty wicked.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was. I really I enjoyed. Well, what do you think, honey? Did you have a favorite of this one?
Well, in the end, when I finally saw it, I was very, very worried about the flower build. I thought it was definitely going to fail. Which it didn't. It did really great. But the first thing that really stood out for me was Mark and Steven's shape of their towers. I just thought it looked like a complete design idea, like very just, clean. I would say that was my second favorite.
I thought it was like a piece of Mobius artwork brought to life, and not a lot of people can pull off that Mobius concept.
And they had numbers built into the sides as well.
Well, what I really appreciated about this was that all the teams made an effort to not have the windmill be the only moving part. Now, from what I understand from Moto's stream yesterday, which, by the way, if you're not watching Moto's season 2 streams on Saturday, you should be, because he has the cast on and they talk about all the ins and outs of it, those that they are allowed to talk about. And I know one of the things they mentioned yesterday in the rules was they weren't allowed to power anything else on the model with the windmill. And I believe
with the main fan, you could have secondary fans or devices. Yeah.
Right. But I understand there was one team that kind of pushed that limit a little bit and kind of got away with it. And we kind of saw that happen. But I was really impressed with the amount of other kinds of movement that they were able to include.
Something we don't talk about a whole lot, but I really appreciated Jamie's input and feedback in his check-ins with all of the teams. I thought it was very effective and concise.
Yeah.
It was just really well, and when we were on, whenever they came around, I appreciated it took me a lot of effort to focus on them, to stop building and listen to what they were saying.
Yeah.
But what they said was so often really, really, really helpful.
Right. So often. So
well, I mean, sometimes I would take what they said so much to heart, you know, like, well, I don't know about that flower. And I'd be like, the flowers, no. And, you know,
it's too tall. But anyway, yeah, I really, I thought this was a fun episode. I think, you know, even though, you know, again, we're going down this destruction route, I thought it was a clever way of presenting that. So now we have gone, we kind of gone over what our favorites were. So now it's time to talk about who won and who went home. So if you haven't seen the episode yet and you don't want the ending spoiled, now would be a good time to mute. I'm not going to tell you to leave, but I am going to tell you to mute.
Yeah, be careful. We're going to tell you who's gone with the wind.
And then it's okay. You just killed Richard. And I'll give you, if you're muting, I'll give you a double thumbs up when we're finished talking about this part. So let's see. So let's talk about the winner. So the winners of this episode were
the
winders of this episode.
Oh, that was
were no surprise here. Dave and Richard with their gnome garden build. Now, theirs did not actually stand up to the full force. However, it was so aesthetically and auditorily compelling that they really took this one, and it was really, really impressive just watching all of that. Oh, my mom's here. Hi, Mom.
Yeah, in the end, it kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, nobody said that today.
Well, you know, the nice thing about forgetting what people say is that it's like it's new every time. It's a new adventure. It is so easy.
Yes. So thanks. So we actually we watched it, and I really do think it was quite a well-deserved win, and that is now 2 wins in a row for them. Yeah. And I think the 3rd win overall, I believe. And I'm not positive of this, but I think they may have, at this point, be the team with the most wins. Yeah. But I could be wrong about that.
True.
And then they were second, and then they were bottom.
I don't think they were been top that many times. I think it's just been twice that they.
Oh, okay. They have been in the top. Okay. So, and then I will say, and also. Mark and Steven's build, I believe, was the other. I'm starting to get them confused, right?
No, Caleb and Jacob were standing beside them.
That's right, Caleb and Jacob. And I gotta say, aesthetically, that was a tough call between those two because they were both really, really,
they were definitely very different styles. You're talking about something that's very polished and architectural versus something that's very organic. So that's a tough choice.
Well, Caleb and Jacob's mechanic was like perfect.
It was perfect.
That thing, the fan spun so fast, it was just a blur, and the tower didn't move at all.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I did love
the Red Devil. Yeah, Red Devil.
Because a lot of them, like the blades broke off. And I can't remember whose it was, but somebody they got all the way up to 60, but the entire
the whole thing went.
The entire tower just went like the whole thing. It was pretty amazing.
Mark and Stevens.
Okay, so
it was second wings. Yeah.
Oh, Abby the brick squirrel. Just keep swimming.
So now it's time to talk about who went home. And I gotta say, for me personally, this was a real gut punch. It really took the wind out of my sails.
We've been oscillating back and forth between
I'm just gonna clip Kara's reactions, and that's gonna be a new meme on my Twitch channel. Whenever we redeem the sad trombone, it's gonna be a picture of Kara looking miserable. So we had to say goodbye to my personal favorite team, Maria and Philip. Now, they really struggled in this episode, particularly with the fan blades. I know Maria spent a lot of time making a really beautiful set of blades, and it just didn't work out. And it wasn't going to spin the right way. And Philip ended up kind of redoing it in the end and used dots, and it was actually quite aesthetically pleasing. Like, I thought it was cute, like and I know what that's like to have to try and salvage something like right at the end, like like one of the most important parts. Like, that definitely happened to us. And I was really, really sad to see them go, but theirs only lasted 20 miles per hour.
Well, I felt for them so much because there was a chance to test, right? They had some smaller fans and you could test to see. And when they had the problem with their fan blade, you could see them like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And they just said, we got to keep going. And they just kept going, and, and they finished their piece.
Yeah.
And it looked really cool.
I actually really liked the way it looked. I thought it was very cute. I liked their little buildings. It's interesting because I have said many times that that they are sort of the us of this current season. We have a similar, we have similar build styles, and married couple, and we seem to share similar roles, and what I noted, and since I've been saying that for a while, what I noted was that they actually went out on the same episode that we did, episode 7. And the critiques that they gave them on this build were very similar to the critiques that we were given on our build that we went out on. So it just kind of even more blended in, like connected us together, I think. I had such a delightful time. We will absolutely be having them on the show soon to talk to them about their experience, but they were really just so delightful and just so sad. It's always sad to see people go, but they really were my sorry, Moto. Well, they were my favorite.
He's already gone.
Yeah, whatever.
Now we know how you really feel.
All good. It's all cool.
But you're one of my favorites in lots of other places.
The rest
Moto.
of the world.
So I really, I thought that what they did was cute, and unfortunately, it just wasn't. It didn't kind of, make it to the level of some of the other builds. Did anybody else have thoughts on Maria and Philip's build?
I felt like, well, this is not about their build, but I felt like I never saw enough of Maria and Philip.
Yeah, that's true.
I had them on my Thursday night show a couple weeks ago, and they were so hilarious. I felt like we did over an hour. I typically try to keep mine under an hour, and we did over an hour, and it felt like it had been 15 minutes because it was just one kind of like laughing moment after another. And I don't even know if the people watching enjoyed it, but I had.
I made the same comment. I was like, there's so much. They have so much more personality, and they're so much quirkier. Having watched them interact with you on your show, that I was like, I really wasn't getting any of that out of the show. They just weren't highlighted much at all, which is unfortunate.
Right. Well,
I really
I feel that way about every
to when we were on. So,
yeah, it's like that with pretty much everyone. You never really get the full story or the full picture. Like, I pretty much just assume whatever we're seeing on TV is absolutely nothing like what anybody's like in real life.
And then this is another reason why I encourage you to watch Moto's Saturday streams. I encourage you to follow these people on Instagram, because as we all know, like, if you look at the work that we have done on Lego Masters, and then look at the work that we do when we're just building what we love to build, it's a very different vibe. I mean, like, yes, our style is always there, and our styles will always be there, but they those aren't necessarily the things that we would build if we were just left to our own devices.
Well, there's a difference between 10 hours and 6 months.
Right. Well, yes.
And the thing is the challenges, I think, generally speaking, from episode 1 to the finale, the challenges get a little more demanding at each time you go.
Yeah,
and they're not giving you more time necessarily. They're not giving, you know, you don't have any additional supports to achieve a more demanding result. So what happens? You said that the feedback in this episode was very similar to season 1. And so their comments about like you know, this being the builds being a little bit more simplistic than we would like to see at this stage. Well, it's not that those builders build that way. It's that as the demand rises, what do you sacrifice, right? Like you have to figure out what to sacrifice. So one of the things that you sacrifice to continue to meet the increasing demand is maybe a little bit of like stylistic or a little bit of like realism in your builds, you know what I mean? And it's just going to continue. And you know, the nature of the game is that happens over and over and over again. Honestly, in some ways, I don't know how we made it so as far as we did. At the same time, it was disappointing not to win, right? It was like, yeah, sorry, that I could go on a whole.
Well, I thought that's very, very insightful, Boone. Like no matter how good the builds are, someone has to go home. And so they sharpen and sharpen and sharpen. And the criticism gets, I think, a little harder to take, right? Because you know that you've made this amazing thing and they're just right in there like, well, that wasn't it. That wasn't quite it.
Well, and I don't know, like to me that was, and I have to say in ours in particular, that critique of it being too simplistic, to me was hurt because we did that on purpose. Right, like
we wanted it to be child.
Yeah, it was a build that was based on a child's thing, and we made a child's toy. Like we made it like it was meant to be that way. And then to hear that was the thing that we went, you know, that the reason that we left was because of the thing that we purposely did. It was a little, you know, it was a little hard to take in at the time, I gotta say.
Yeah, I think the tough thing for me would be like, because you think about it, not everything you build, for anybody that's a builder, not everything you build is the best thing you've ever made. Like it's not like every time you build, it's the best each time. Mm-hmm. So I kind of feel like, now obviously that competition style is going to add a little extra, you know, motivation or whatever there. But I just kind of wonder, like, you know, you only have so much time, and it's so rare for me personally, like that, like my first, I know some people say just go with your first idea. It's actually unusual for me to nail it with the first idea. Like usually the first idea is almost like this concept that I kind of have to hash out, and then it sort of becomes something else. And it's usually by the third time I'm starting to put something together that it becomes something. Usually the first time I start to put bricks together, it's just like I'm still in idea mode, you know? And so I can't imagine really being in that situation where you have X amount of time and you pretty much like from the buzzer sound have to start making it work. You have to have that idea, and whatever that idea is what you have to stick with, and then that's going to be the thing. And I like, that's the part that I would just be like,
I couldn't do it.
It's the biggest difference between building in that competition and building in every other aspect of life.
Well, that's why competitive speed building is a different beast by its nature than the.
I don't think I like it. I think I would second guess the entire time whether that idea is really what I should be going with. You know, because I know at the end I'd just be like, this is the worst idea. Why am I still trying to make this work?
That's an easy trap to fall in. And then the problem is like, once you have gone, 3/4 of the way down the road, there's
Stop.
not turning
Stop.
back. I mean, like there is a certain place where you can turn back, but once you've hit past the halfway mark, it's kind of, you're
That
kind of
gives me so
done.
much anxiety. Even doing Boone, because Boone did a Bricktorious thing with us on Thursday, and that was just a taste of it. We had 1 hour. I had a terrible idea, and I was past that point where I was like, I mean, I guess this is, we're just stuck with this now. Like, it's just gonna, you just kind of accepted at that point that, well, this is just not gonna be a good build.
Oh, by the way, I forgot about that. Yes, everybody, if you
That was
haven't
fun.
watched Boone's Bricktorious from Thursday, we went to the Portland local Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah,
They brought out some really like bulk bins for us to go through, and excuse me, and then we had an hour to build to a theme that was suggested by the chat, which was decades was the theme, and it was really a lot of fun. We had such a great time, and I'm proud to say that I won the trophy. I was very excited with my
had a good
Bijou and the
time.
holographs, my gem and the holograms cover band. So that was fun.
After in doing that short little 1 hour challenge, and then also coming to terms with that we didn't make it to the end on Lego Masters, I tend to be very judgmental. Like, oh look, they made all these amazing things, and
there it is.
Oh, that's cool.
There's my trophy.
And what I've come to realize, it's so cute.
It's really good.
What I came to realize about myself is that the fact that I like to take a long time building is not less than, it's just different than.
Right.
And I had a great time at Bricktorious. I made a terrible model, and I laughed the entire time and had a great time. But it's just, I have a different style of building. The way I develop things doesn't lend itself to fast.
that was fun.
And for those of you who are wondering, who've already watched the Bricktorious, yes, I bought all 3 of those transclear base plates.
You should have. As well, you should have. So, gosh, it looks like
It's okay, Blair. It's all right.
So it looks like we are actually reaching the end of today's show.
What?
It has been so much fun and so cool having. I mean, if we have other things to talk about, we can certainly. Oh, here we go. There's more our reaction. What was that?
Minifigs.
Oh, minifigs. Yes, of course. Because we
remember
always
those.
forget about that
Remember
until
the
end.
things that we're supposed to do normally.
Do you have them?
I know. Here's the thing that we always forget to do until the end, but we're going to do it anyway.
You can take one.
Let's do. Oh, Adam, bless you. Bless your heart.
Oh, fourth word of the, yeah.
But it is time.
Oh, we got to see Adam too.
Yes, we got to see Adam too. It is time for favorite minifig show and tell. Let's go with Blair and Moto first. All right, guys.
All right, since we're having our Pacific Northwest special, I have a very special Pacific Northwest local. It is
Oh, yay.
Brick Squatch. Come on.
And he's so terrifying that you have to cover your eyes.
I can't do it. Anyway,
I love Brick Squatch.
Squatch. I gave him some Wookiee legs to make him even more furry.
I don't have a great minifix, so I'm gonna have to use the time portal for
taking mine.
Yeah.
No, take mine.
No, I'll take.
I got
Yeah,
it. I
I'll
brought
take
a bonus
yours. There we
one.
go. There we go. In celebration of the muck that I flew in for the event yesterday, there is a robot,
Oh, I love that robot.
Oh, yes.
and
So
the
good.
robot is fantastic because my Motobot also has the wind-up key on the back of it.
Nice.
That's cool.
There we go. Close
Oh,
up the
that
eye.
worked.
Yeah, you have to close up the eyes.
This is awesome.
Okay, let's see. What have we got? What do we got? Let's see. Boone, do you have something, or did you give yours away through the wormhole?
No, I still have mine.
Oh, you still got yours. Okay. Here we go.
I have the Love Elephant
Aw.
From this was a Lego store Build-A-Fig from 2020 around Valentine's Day, I would suppose, and it would have originally had heart-shaped sunglasses, but this guy is a more excited version of the love elephant, and I just love the elephant head, and I think it's cute that they made it in pink.
What?
There you go.
And it makes noise.
All right, and let's see. It's Cara and Richard.
Hey.
Hi, Cara.
Hello.
We've never been on screen before together.
Oh, this is awesome. So I, being far away from home, my own collection, I managed to borrow something here. But I do love this, and I'm pretty sure I have him. It is
Oh, it's something borrowed again.
Ooh, zombie chauffeur.
It's the chauffeur, right? And he has no hands, so it reminded me of the Michonne's first zombie pets in The Walking Dead.
Oh, and I have been playing with it here, so it's got it all turned around. But I have this from Monster Fighters,
Love him.
sea monster person.
Very cool.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
They're pretty green. It looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon to me, and I love those lime green hands.
I love that minifig. Oh my goodness. All right, Holly. What do we got? Okay, now I got to get Clicky on board here, just so that we're sure we've got it going on. Okay.
Cool. I get to see behind the scenes.
Yes, you
Okay.
do, and it's terrifying.
You've got it going on.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this is the one I was going to show last week and kind of missed the opportunity. So there's my.
Yay!
You don't have to put your hand up. I'm doing it
Is that
manually. There you go.
That's Spike, right?
Yes.
Stripe.
Is it Stripe?
Stripe.
It is Stripe.
That's
yes.
Stripe. Yes. Very cool. I love he's got printed arms too, which is
Yes.
cool.
This is look at the shape of his legs.
Oh, right. He's got
Yes.
like goat legs.
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
This is super awesome. I had to make my son a Halloween costume like this for 1 year.
And that was from
Absolute favorite.
that's from Dimensions, right?
Yes, that's one of the Dimensions figures
Really cool.
with the Mogwai.
And I have got this guy who is so adorable, the little ice cream guy, and he even has a name.
What's his name?
Mike. It says Mike right on his
Aw.
name tag.
Oh, Mike.
There's only a few now. At one point, there was only one minifigure that had a legit name, and that was the roller skating waitress, Tara. She had her name tag, and now we have multiple ones with actual names printed on them. So, wow, what a crazy! Sorry.
Well, I just wanted to say real quick, Holly, your figure was from Dimensions.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy they are to get anymore, but if you haven't looked at the Dimensions figs, the figures from Dimensions are great, and you can't get them anywhere else.
There's a ton of
I mean,
amazing
Mr.
ones. Yeah, I
T.
did Beetlejuice last
Right?
There's a Mr. T. I just gotta say.
And even the little mini builds were pretty cool on some of those.
Yeah, there were some pretty good ones.
The ET with the phone.
Oh, the ET,
Yeah.
the ET phone was good, and actually the phone from Powerpuff Girls was also really
Oh yeah,
cute.
and I think this one came with a camera. It was like a Polaroid camera.
That was
Oh
good.
yeah, yep. Bright light. All right, so I am going to now press a special button to open the wormhole portal into where I am at currently.
Getting sucked in.
And I'm going to get everyone to go through the wormhole and into our current space. So everybody know, Richard, you are wormholing up here.
Oh, I am. Oh,
okay. Dimension. So I thank you everybody so much for coming and hanging out with us today. What a really fun time. It was great to be able to be here for and Skittles too. Look, Skittles came through the wormhole too, everybody.
We brought him.
All right, everybody, we're all wormholing in. This has been our very first live from Portland, and I promise it won't be the last one, with the entire TrickyBricks crew in one space. This is something that I honestly never thought would happen, and
This makes me so happy.
This does make me so happy. It's so awesome.
Richard, thank you for sharing your wormhole.
I didn't think I'd hear that today.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will be, don't forget, we've got our challenge going on, the What a Punderful World Challenge, due on Thursday. We have got, what else is happening? Oh, yes. I will not be on the Twitch raid train this Tuesday because we will be flying home from Portland. However, it's my birthday on Thursday, and I will be doing a special birthday stream on Twitch on Thursday. So look for that announcement. And so thanks everybody so much for joining us. Thanks for all our guests live from Portland, everybody. We will see you next Friday or at Twitch on Thursday for our What a Punderful World cast. So from the cast and crew,
we got to say, everyone, stay safe,
stay healthy, wear your mask when and where you still need to. Oh yeah. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, wear that mask when and where you still need to, get that vaccine as soon as you can, and we'll see you next time. Bye everyone.